Hello everyone, hope you are all doing well. Today I will continue with the process of teaching you the processing language, and I'm going to discuss you about a new topic which is called inputs. But before that, let me quickly revise with you what I discussed in my last video about animations. Okay, and through animations we have made a small a running application wherein this is the bouncing circle which can move scroll up and down. Okay, so what I will do is that I'll quickly retype the code. Okay, though my detailed explanation is mentioned in my old video, and just to show it to you that how simple and easy it is, and we can also quickly revise the animation topic. Students, what is an animation was about is that animation is nothing but, okay, we have a set of frames. Okay, so we discussed like a series of frames or images is called as animation. So for example, when I was plotting an ellipse, okay, when I make an ellipse, say 100 comma 100 x y and say width and height. So student, when I see this example, this is one frame. Okay, this is one frame which appears on my screen. I'll just set the size for this, say 300 comma 300. So this is one frame, and what an animation says is that when you have multiple frames like this, one frame, two frame, three frame, multiple frames come together to give a like a video format or give like a loop format, that particular thing will be termed as animations. Okay, so we are familiar how to make single frames. Okay, when I say add one more ellipse here, see I'm changing the x and y axis. Okay, so right now when I run this example, I can see two ellipses on my screen, but they are still a part of a one frame, one look which I see. Okay, so we can add up further, multiple frames can be added, and if I add a series of frames, they will be termed as animation. And so how we do it is very simple. Okay, what we start off first is that we will be using two methods. First method name is called setup. A setup is a method which is called once when we run the processing program, and then we have a method with the name draw. The draw is an interesting method. A draw method is called 60 times per second. Okay, so if I'm making an ellipse again, say with some coordinates x, y, width and height, okay, and running my program, so will my ellipse be have a motion or it will be moving in a series of frames? No, it is still a still image. So but a draw has been called 60 times per second, so internally this draw is calling this ellipse, in plotting this ellipse, okay, that many number of times. But what is happening is that since the coordinates we have not changed, it is 100 and 100 x and y, so we are able to see the ellipse on the same location. Okay, so what I can do is that in order to get a series of frames, I will define some variables and change the coordinates. So say I'm writing up here is a variable with the name circle y and starting our coordinates of say 0. Okay, and if I change this to circle y, circle y. So now the value of circle y is coming from the variable, and let me increase this value, circle y equal to circle y plus 1, circle y plus 1. Now when the draw is getting executed first with, okay, first time I execute circle y value, it finds 0. When it, within 1 second when it comes again, it finds the new circle y value. Circle y value is getting changed because first time it was 0, then it the next line also got executed. 0 plus 1, the new circle y value became 1, and then the draw function is called. The circle y will be having a new y axis now, which is, okay, which is 1. So then it will plot on that axis, then it will be 2 3 4 like this. So when I run my example, you can see that yes, I am getting a circle which is moving downwards, plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. But you can also see this background thing, a black thing which is coming up here. The reason is why, because, okay, as we get one frame, okay, the next frame is appearing. The previous frame, okay, the background color is still using of the last frame. So I can reset the background color. I can write up here, say, if I write a number, background 27, say, any random number I'm using, what will happen with this number, what will happen with this statement is that Each time the draw is called, the background would be like cleared, it will be with a new color, okay, the black color. So whatever previous traces of outputs were there, they would disappear. So now you can see that, okay, the circle is coming, but there is no traces of the back color which is coming. So plus one plus one plus one is happening, and it is going down. Okay, suppose like I want the circle to start from top again once it reaches the down, it reaches the end of the screen. Students, in that case I can specify with an if condition, and if I write up here if circle y, it is greater than, there's a variable with the name width, okay, or we have to use the height variable actually, height. Okay, height denotes the height of my screen. Currently the height of the screen I've given is 300. Okay, so if it becomes greater than 300, then what you do, then you change the circle y-axis again to 0. So it started from 0, plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 happened, the circle was moving downwards. When it reaches the bottom of the screen, then what I tell him is that with an if condition, a conditional statement, take the circle y back to 0, and then the draw is again be called. So now it will be form of a teleporting activity which will happen. You can see the circle going down down when it reaches at the end of the screen, and then again it is teleported on the top. Okay, what if students, I don't need this way, I want that when it reaches the bottom of the screen, and then the circle should move upwards. Okay, slowly. So what can I change in that case, students? The y-axis became 300. Okay, when you reach at the end of the screen starting from 0, now I want to move it backwards, then in such case I have to decrement y. It was plus 1 was happening, now I want that it should go minus 1. So when it goes minus 1, and then it can reach to the top of the screen also. Okay, so to do that, okay, what I will be adding, I'll say I'll add one more variable here, so which will just control the direction. So I'll write, say, y speed. Okay, initial value of y speed I'm giving it as, say, 1. Let's see how we can use the logic to change it. Could be any, you can use your own logic to do it. I'm using one simple logic here. Okay, so if you notice what is changing with each draw is that the circle y value is changing, right? Is getting plus 1, and then I'm getting the new circle being plotted. Okay, so right now what I will do is, okay, instead of this 1 here, 1 is the value which was fixed, plus 1. Instead of this 1, I'll use the variable value now. I'll write y speed. Okay, so the y speed is having a constant value of 1. So okay, so the circle y, we start from 0, 0 plus 1, the new circle y value is becoming 1, then becomes 2, then become 3. So the circle y value I am changing, y speed value I'm keeping it as 1 only. Okay, let me use this example y speed value to change or alter something. What I will do is that when the circle y value reaches greater than height, means it reached 300, then instead of writing here 0, circle y start from 0. Okay, if I write up here y speed, okay, y speed equal to, say, y speed into minus 1. Okay, so what will happen in this case, students? One logic I'm applying here. Y speed circle y became 300 when greater than 0, greater than height. Okay, so what will happen is that when it reaches at the end, y speed value I'm changing it to, y speed was 1 into minus 1. The new y speed value became minus 1 right now. Okay, and then again the draw function got called. Circle y value, the last value was 300. 300 minus 1, it will be 299. So now it will go in the reverse order, students. Then 300 minus 2, sorry, 299 minus 1. Okay, then circle y value become 298. Then circle y value means minus 1 will happen now. Okay, when it will happen, when it reaches the height of, okay, 300. So let's see your example. So it's a plus 1 plus circle y plus when it reaches 300. Now, yes, now the minus happens. Okay, and when it goes up. Now I have not written my code to trap the like when it reaches on the top of the screen. Now what I want, when it reaches the top of the screen, again the circle should come down. So I can write with an OR condition. with an or is denoted by these two pipe signs. Okay, to this pipe sign I can write if circle y, when it goes -1 when it reaches, okay, when it becomes less than 0, because y circle y will become 300 when it came down, and now it goes up when it reaches less than 0. Again you change the -1 value. Okay, again you change the y speed value. Y speed value was minus 1. Minus 1 into -1 become +1. So y speed value become +1, and then when it reaches top, now the plus would happen now. 0 plus 1, 1 plus 1, 2 plus 1. Okay, so with this change to now I will be able to see that once it reached down, circle y value became 300, y speed is +1, now y speed become -1, circle y value becomes 0, when it reaches on the top 0, again circle, again y speed became +1. So like this we are able to, okay, make a circle which is moving up and down. Same way, student, now if I want to have, I will also want to change, it's moving in the straight line. If I want to change, like, okay, with the x-axis also, so then I can add two more variables here, and with the name float circle x. Okay, let me start with one. Okay, a new variable, and float x speed. For x I'll be controlling using the width of my screen, right? So I'm defined one variable with the name circle x this time, and instead of using a fixed value of 100, I'll be using circle x. So what will change, to in, and also I will increment it here. So there are two things which are changing of the circle is the x and y. So it will not be moving in a straight line now. Okay, it will be moving downwards also. Okay, that is to downwards, and it will move both vertically and horizontally. Circle x plus, okay, say x speed. So okay, so x speed is 1, so you can write 1, or I'm writing x speed here. So now both are changing, students, +1 to circle x also, circle y also. So you can see that the circle won't be moving it only in downwards direction, is moving left and right both. Okay, now when it reaches at the edge of the screen, see it bounces a bit, and then it moves towards the right side part. See, I've control with the height, but what about the width? With I've not as indicated anything, that's why the circle is disappearing. So we can write one more condition here with an if, to check about the width of the circle also when it reaches it at the end. But what to check is that the circle x, okay, when it becomes greater than the width, okay, and circle x, okay, when it reaches at the top, so circle x becomes 0. So this time what you control is the x speed. X speed should also become -1, and then when it goes on the top, it become +1. Okay, so with this student example, we are controlling the x and y speed. We are using the draw function, and these are the frames, and these are the series of frames which I'm able to see. So student, this is the, okay, it could be helpful now to us. Okay, just moving it just x and y. So let me start with the circle x starting from 50, okay, and say, okay, y 50 and x starting from 100, just to have a starting, not to be just be moving from, so that you can bounce back here, you can deflect, touch like this. Okay, so student, this is the example for animations, okay, which is one example. So to try out, I hope it is very easy, student. It doesn't take that much time to type once you understand the logic behind it. Okay, so this example I am keeping it somewhere. Now let me start this. Let me start with the new topic today, student. That is discussion about working with inputs. Student, till now we have been now once I run my program, I'm getting a fixed output here. Okay, you can also trap user events, like, okay, when the input is being given to the computer, how the processing detects it. Okay, there are two ways, student. See, now when I run my application, okay, this is my screen, and it is giving me a fixed the program is getting executed. But suppose I need an external source to also the processor should detect external sources. What are the external sources? Mouse is one external source. Okay, mouse is not part of the processor. Keyboard is an external source. So if I can use some processing variables and methods to let the processor know that some external event has triggered on him. Okay, and how we can do it is that we can take the help of user inputs. Okay, this is the happy coding site wherein very good examples are given here. So today I'm going to teach you about taking user input, students. We can have mouse inputs being trapped. Say mouse has, okay, the mouse has its x and the y axis. Okay, so I can use these are the variables which I can use it in my program. So I'll start up again, say void setup. Okay, and say I'm making a size 300 comma 300. Setup is called only once, and the draw function is called multiple times. So for animations we can use draw function. We'll be using draw function a lot. I'm making an ellipse here, students, and what I'm doing is that I'm not defining any variable float, some x y, directly using a variable mouse x. Okay, this is a pre-built predefined variable, and mouse y. So mouse x and y means what? So this is the mouse cursor. Okay, the cursor wherever we move, okay, if I keep it still, it is having its x-axis and its y-axis of the cursor is there, x and y. So it will give me the current x and y axis of when I move the mouse on my processing, okay, screen on my scratch screen. It will give me the x and the y axis. Okay, and the width and height, I'm defining some fixed width and height to it. So now when I run this example, students, you will notice that okay, let me set the size for this proper. Setup is there, draw is there, mouse x, mouse y. Okay, and okay, let me give it a bigger size, 500 and 500. Okay, so you can see, okay, as I move my mouse, okay, you can see like the circle is coming, and at the L, the circle is just following the mouse pointer. So as it appears, you can see the last input also which is made. And if I don't want like the circle should be, the last traces of the circle should be there, in that case what we can do is that we can just refresh the screen by writing some background. So each time the draw is being called, it will change the background color. Okay, and so that the old output would disappear. Okay, so see, you can see now the mouse is the circle is just following the mouse. It could be helpful to us when we make games. Okay, student, now one very interesting thing which I want to tell you is that a question arises is that we if I want to make these games for websites, okay, do what to be done, student. We, the best part of processing is that you don't have to retype everything or change all the codes. See, I'll show you one simple example. This same example which I'm able to see in this screen here can be also be viewed in a website mode, in a website also. So how to do about it is that I've installed one editor which I'm using for MYP4 also, students. So I'm using an editor called Visual Studio Code. Okay, it's just it's like a notepad thing only. And students, I will make a new file here, say myp5.html. It's an HTML file. Okay, so it's a blank page which appears here. Okay, now what I have to do here is that, okay, this here, this is the new screen which has popped up now, and in this screen, student, I'm going to write something about HTML. Okay, and for writing HTML tags, okay, this the pre-ready-made script which I'll be sharing with you. There's one link which we need to add. Okay, it's the HTML head title script is a pre-ready-made script which is there. This link, it's about accessing, making a processing file, is a library, making a processing file, making your processing file available in the browser. Okay, so student, look here, now nothing much to be done. I have the script this much, you copy and paste, and whatever code I wrote last, this was my code written, just copy this, student. See, just paste, no changes, nothing changes to be done here. Just copy it, close the script tag. Okay, and so the script tag getting closed, and then students just make one canvas. This is a canvas. Canvas means the place wherein you can see the output, and slash body. Okay, and then the closing of the body tag. So we have the HTML part here, and by P5 I've given save the work, command S. Okay, just right click and show it in, open it, show in browser. Okay, yes. So student, this is my website. The same code I'm able to see with an HTML file right now. So student, it is very easy. Once you understand the logic of coding, you can make it, you can just use it in any interface. We don't have to modify the programming skills now. Just use the basic headers or something, which I'll share the file with you, and your same page can be viewed in a browser. Okay, so I hope you understood today's topic. Okay, input, I'll be adding more videos, and when we will be discussing about the more mouse events which are there, is really interesting further. Okay, we have mouse press, mouse release, key events are there. We'll be able to type some keyboard inputs also. So, and student, it could be very useful, like up and down arrow keys can be controlled. Okay, so of course again it will be very helpful when we make any games further. Okay, thank you very much. So we'll stop now.